medicine will improve the Olympic Games. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lian Yen, for your interesting presentation. Next, we will continue with Mrs. Lee Yongjiao. She is Acute Neurological Rehabilitation Department of Turku City Hospital. She is working there. And the topic of the presentation is neurological rehabilitation in Finland. Warmly welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yongjiao Li. I'm a nurse who works in acute neurological rehabilitation inpatient department of Turku City Hospital. I'm not the master of knowing Finnish rehabilitation system, but I'd like to share with you what I've learned in that department since I worked there only about 2 years as a nurse. So first of all, I'd like to introduce you what kind of patients we receive to our department. So we received a stroke patient who had operation in University Hospital and the condition is stabilized. So this kind of patient we received, and also we received Parkinson's disease patient, and also some other brain tumor patient who have neurological damage patient, and also some other rare neurological related diseases like Lyme disease patient, and some other patients also, for example, who has severe condition and dying patient, but who's not getting proper case to palliative department, so we also have like terminal care. We receive this kind of patient also. Then next I'm going to introduce to you who's included to our team. First of all, we have department secretary, and we also have RN, registered nurse, and LPN, licensed practical nurses, and also doctors, therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, and also social workers. Of course, we have cleaner in our department, and also we sometimes need consultation for wound care, so we need specialized wound care nurses consultation, and we also sometimes he co-works with his trust team. Of course, we have department doctor and head nurse and one assistant head nurse in our department. Then, next, let's see one by one what's the roles of everybody in our team. The department secretary. Department secretary has the whole picture of our department. She knows what's happening. In our department, for example, certain patient is in a wait list and who needs contact precaution room. So department secretary arranged a proper room for the newcomer. And also department secretary discussed with department head nurse to organize the proper room or bed for the newcomer according to patient's condition. And also department secretary order disabled taxi for patients who need further examination. For example, patient needs examination in university hospital. Department secretary also inform other workers in the department what's going on in that department and what has to be done at the moment. Department secretary works from Monday to Friday and from 7 a.m. to about 3 p.m. So after that, the nurses in that department will be responsible for everything. Then next, RN, registered nurse. Registered nurse, we have several registers in our department. Registered nurse works for 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. I think registered nurse knows the whole picture of the patient. So, registered nurse take care of patient for everything, and also registered nurse prepare oral medication and prepare and administer injections and intravenous medications for patients. Of course, in Finland, there's a special regulation for medication handling, so we have to pass law there. So that's a serious test for the nurses who's handling of medication. It's required for every nurse who's handling of medication. Otherwise, if we administer medication to patient without law license, then it's illegal. Then let's see next LPN. I think there's no exact responding term for Finnish lähihoitaja, but I think it's almost same as American's licensed practical nurse. It's not all the same, but it's similar. Same as registered nurse, lähihoitaja or licensed practical nurse works for 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. And licensed practical nurse take care of patients' basic life needs. For example, help patient to wash fees and to help patients have meals and transfer patients from bed to a wheelchair or back to bathroom. And of course, licensed practical nurses help patients to check vital signs, for example, temperature and blood pressure and oxygen saturation. If any abnormal reading, then licensed practical nurses inform registered nurse. Then registered nurse evaluates what's the condition patient has. If it's severe, then need further consultation to doctor, then registered nurse inform or call doctors. Then next, let's see doctors. We have department doctor who's controlling the whole department. Then we also have doctors who works with patient and who works from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. Then after that, we have emergency doctor. So if anything emergency happens, then need doctor's consultation, then registered nurse evaluate first, then call, after doctor's working hours, then registered nurse call emergency doctors. So we also have doctors 24 hours and 7 days in a week. Next, let's see physiotherapist. According to patient's condition, doctor, if patient's condition need to be rehabilitated or suspect that needs rehabilitation, then doctor send referral to physiotherapist. That physiotherapist come to evaluate patient's condition and decide if patient needs rehabilitation, and also select the proper assistant equipment for patient, for example, wheelchair, rollator, nurture wheelchair, or training bike. Physiotherapist select the proper size for patient, and also give the detailed instruction to other healthcare, and the therapist write the detailed instruction in electronic patient management system, Pegasus. So everybody knows how to help patient to rehabilitate or how to move patient. And for example, patient need sliding board to be transferred from bed to wheelchair, and also need 1 or 2 helper. So the therapist is the one who write the details to others, and nurses, registered nurses, and licensed practical nurses follow the instruction from the therapist. Then we also have occupational therapists. So it's for certain patients, they have, for example, edema in wrist, this joint, or they have neurological problem to damage the function of the wrist muscle tone. Then the same way, doctors, if need, doctors send referral to occupational therapists. Occupational therapists evaluate patient's condition and decide to set the proper assistant equipment for patients. For example, this kind of plaster or support. Usually we use the first one, wrist support during daytime and the plaster during nighttime. And also, occupational therapists help patients to recover from the daily activities. For example, help patients to make coffee or help patients to hold the spoon to eat. Then, let's see who's in our team. Also, the speech therapist. Same as other therapists, after doctors and nurses evaluation, if a patient needs speech rehabilitation or suspect patient has difficulty of swallowing, then doctor send referral to speech therapist. So usually speech therapists use this kind of wooden tongue depressor and also lemon flavored stick to evaluate if patient's swallowing muscle works well or if there's any difficulty for swallowing. If there's any difficulty, then speech therapy write the instructions what kind of diet patient needs. For example, patient needs liquid diet, but also need to put thickening substance to liquid, and we also speech therapists also write the detailed what kind of position and how much we can feed patient. If patient has high risk to choke, then feeding therapist write instruction so that we can give patient food or nutrition through other ways. For example, nasal tube. And next, we also have social workers in our team who's taking caring patients, for example, gala issues and payments and a certain certificate from doctor, and also like if a patient needs long-term nursing place, then social worker is the one who's organizing. And we have religious workers in our hospital. If anybody needs this kind of help, so nurses call religious workers for this kind of patient. So I'd like to share with you about our department meetings from my past working experience in Saudi Arabia government hospital and international hospital in China. I think this kind of meetings in Finland is quite interesting, and I think it's effective to work for patients. So we have rehabilitation meetings. It's hard for everybody, for the new patient. So in this meeting we have doctor, a physiotherapist, speech therapist as needed, and social worker, and nurses. So in this meeting we discuss patient's conditions and decide the proper planning for patients. If patient's condition need to, for example, need long-term care place, then we send patient to long-term care nursing place. If patient's condition is ready to go home, then we send patient home. And if patient's condition is not ready to go home but doesn't need long-term nursing place, then we send patient. We give patient rehabilitation first in our department, then send patient home when it's ready. Then we also have treatment meeting. It's not held for everybody, but according to patient's condition and the relatives' needs, we have this kind of meeting for certain patient. So in this meeting, of course, we have doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, speech therapists as needed, and also social workers. And also patients, if patient's condition is allowed, and patient's relatives. So we discuss together the best possibility for patient and for a proper way for the relatives. So we respect patient and relatives. That's all. Thanks for listening.
Can I have some questions? Do we have time for that?
On small and fast.
Yeah,
Okay.
really.
What does what does that work for like a speech therapist? I can't understand what you mean.
A speech therapist.
Could you give the Chinese name in in Chinese? Please. No. Speech. What is speech therapist? It's a psychological nursing or
It's like a specialized, like a physiotherapist, but it's focused on patient speech or swallowing function. So if, for example, patient has difficulty of swallowing to eat food or difficult to speak, so speech therapists help.
Okay, it's like digestive, like a therapist or something.
No, not digestive, just swallowing and
Okay,
speech.
this part.
Yeah. And it's also sometimes related to central nervous system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. I can also give you a small example, because when I was young, I went to speech therapist because I couldn't pronounce the r. So, yeah. So that's one that speech therapist helps you with also. Yeah, wow, that was pretty good. Okay, thank you, Miss Liu. That was a wonderful speech. And now we will continue to the next topic, which is Chinese European Center for Technology and Innovation. So let's warmly welcome President of Chinese European Center of Technology and Innovation, Mr. Zhou Gui. Welcome.
Hello everyone. Hi. Thank you. Yeah, actually, not Miss Zhou. Miss Zhou is sitting just here. So I will represent, for him. But he actually, but Miss Zhou is our president and chairman and CEO of our Innovation Center, Chinese European Center of Innovation Technology. And I am Eva Cao, and I am responsible for the Finland Center. So, actually, we are very happy to be here with you at this event. And actually, Ms. Zhou even flied from China to Finland specifically for this event. So, that we are here today, and so let's have a look at what we do and what about our innovation center. Yeah. Actually, this innovation center is quite new. And firstly, I would like to give some introduction of the background. this innovation center actually is supported by Qiaomengyuan Park. Qiaomengyuan actually it's let's say it's kind of like a high-end innovation park, let's say zone, let's say which launched by the overseas Chinese offices and Beijing government together. And Qiaomengyuan is intended for the overseas Chinese who are residing abroad or returning to China to do the to actually to fund the companies or bring or to work or being entrepreneurs. And so Qiaomengyuan is Beijing Qiaomengyuan is founded in 2016 in May, and it is located in Shijingshan district, and so that it intends to help their entrepreneurs and their overseas Chinese to build up their high technology companies and bring them resources, networkings, and also the good policies, supporting policies. And meanwhile, actually in Beijing Shijingshan, we are also located our innovation center, and there are as well the Olympic game organizing committee there, quite close to our center, actually that's why we are here. We are here because we want to work together and with this Olympic organizing committee and to help the Finnish companies to go to China and to promote this winter sport together. So for companies who are interested to bring your winter sports technologies and all to enter Chinese market, and we are there to help you. So our center is located in the Beijing Shijingshan district, and it is quite close to the city center, and you can see from the photo that the first photo of the first building on the left is our center. It's quite high-end offices. We have like about 7,500 square meters high-end office equipment, and we have like also it's about 11 floors, and there are about 450 square meters of the public areas, which you have your meeting rooms. You can see from the photo, very nice. With actually this meeting room decorations are kind of like handpicked by our CEO, Mr. Zhou. So he even designed the meeting room. So yeah, and then we have also this public area for the companies resting, kitchen, and yeah, quite good co-working space. And especially the location is super because it's quite let's say quite in the center, actually in the center of Shijingshan district, and nearby our offices there are hospitals, there are shopping malls, there are even the Shijingshan municipality governments there. So you are in the center, not somewhere suburb. Yeah, and for the companies who work in our co-working space, you can especially enjoy this kind of policy, which provided by the Beijing Shijingshan municipality for the companies. There are many kinds, so I can't really list out, but it's about like, for example, about like some kind of fundings, and there are probably also some kind of good policies on their spaces or with discounts, and we also provide good the industry services, help you to understand or to get the local partners or some like human resources or financing services or accounting and such. So our center basically is really new actually with such good services, but it's pretty young. It's just founded like 1 year. Actually 2018 in June. Up to now it's just one year and 3 months. But actually we are doing very well, especially in Beijing. That there are like already 80% of the companies of the spaces are filled up. So for now there are many companies working here, and there are also companies from like Germany and other countries. So what we do is mostly to provide the services, and also since you are incubated or let's say work in our co-working space, so you can enjoy actually the good policies, from the government, because you are part of this Qiaomengyuan Park. And then from the global vision, we have the other offices as well. Mostly in Europe, and so you can see like we have offices in Stockholm, Sweden, Helsinki, Finland, Germany, which is in Munich, and at the moment we just got a new center in Spain. There will be more details coming up. And Italy, actually, right now we have this ongoing discussion with our local partners. So the center actually will be soon located in Italy as well. And this is the company list, which it shows like the companies working in our co-working space. Actually, the list is just like for the 2019 in February. That's until then. But now it's already October, so now we have not only 20 companies here, we have like up to 40 companies working in our space. And of course, yeah, they are mostly Chinese company, but they are mostly they are also interested in the overseas markets, and they are quite solid, and they are so it's a good resource networking for the foreign companies if you want to join to work there. So there's probably already some potential partners for you there. And we have our Finland Center as well. And Finland Center is located in Maria 01. That is it's really new actually. Just founded this year by the end of June. And we had the honor to even get the district mayor of Beijing Shijingshan. He came to Finland to attend this opening ceremony, and together with the CEO of Maria 01. And actually, we even have some further collaboration with Maria 01 for future, maybe potentially with like companies, SMEs on the Chinese market. Yeah, and about services, well, what we do, of course, we have a good location in China, and as well we have offices in Europe. So what we are doing is like we work as a bridge to have the Chinese companies coming to Finland, or not only to Finland, actually Finland, Sweden, or Germany. So we can help you to get local services or the resources, and to prepare for the market entry, and then for the companies from Finland or other countries, if you are interested in Chinese market, then we are ready to help you to provide the offices and the services. And mostly, well, we not only work with the corporations, we work as well mostly with the governments, because this Qiaomengyuan Park is government-based, government-supported. So in this sense, we have good government relationships and good relationships with the municipalities of Beijing districts. So, well, that's we can help you actually to get a good governmental relationship or to pass the way to Chinese market. And meanwhile, with the universities, we are also have some projects ongoing with the Finnish universities to help them to recruit Chinese students. And everyone knows China is a really potential big market for Finnish education. So that would be a good area to work on. And meanwhile, for the research institutes, we are actually already working on the collaboration between the research institutions. So I will show you later. So in all, that's what we are working on. We have the companies, governments, and institutes, universities to get to collaborate between China and Finland, even to Europe. And these are the international activities we had so far, only a small part of it. It's otherwise if we put too many pictures that would be too full. But yeah, there are the delegations from Germany, Italy, and Finland. Well, there's the delegation from Apple academic universities, and yeah, and they are all visiting us. And actually, yeah, so it's if you visit us, I'm sure our CEO will host you with really good Chinese wine and Chinese food. So you're welcome to visit us. Yeah, and well, partners, yeah, we have quite many. Well, mostly Chinese partners, and then as well the foreign partners. Yeah. So I won't give too much details. And here, yeah, let's say what we have. Yeah, acknowledges that we got. That firstly from the government, which we got this, well, it's very typical Chinese thing. I'm sure everyone Chinese here, you understand this. but yeah, if I explain in Finnish ways, like we got a nomination from this Beijing City Science Association. They gave us this honor to be as this kind of innovation workshop, yeah, to our center, and then we also got this authorization from the Beijing Bureau Commerce, Beijing Bureau Commerce, for being the agency or let's say service company for them in Finland. So it means that when there are Beijing government delegations or some kind of company delegations designated by the Beijing Bureau of Commerce to Finland, then it will be us to host them. And then here on this right part, there's the collaboration between which actually we have this collaboration between this academic Apple academic university and Chinese Science Institute on this nano material. Well, that's something really high technology. Yeah. So, but if you are interested, that we have our actually let's say Professor Mr. Zhang Hongbo. He is here actually. He is the one actually working on this project. So I'm sure he will give more details. And some successful cases that we have done. Firstly, the conference in China that is about this millimeter wave and terahertz. Probably someone knows. It's not my area. this millimeter wave and terahertz lines. Actually, it's really high-end technology association. They are actually located here as this this alliance office in our center in this year, in the April. And then this year in June, we had the competition, OTC, which is actually competition events or for overseas, for abroad. Actually organized by, let's say, Beijing Chaoyang district municipality. But we are the one actually to organize the pitching event here in Finland, in Finland side. And so actually that it was quite successful. This pitching, I organized and hosted pitching, and we got like more than 30 companies registered for their pitching, and finally 2 companies are actually selected as winners, Group 3D and Music Info. And so these 2 companies, they actually went to China for this, let's say, trip, this kind of trip organized by Beijing district, Chaoyang district company, the district government. Yeah. And actually, yeah, they had some kind of like group. I remember on LinkedIn, they even posted some like videos about this trip. It was quite nice actually. I'm sure they got a lot of the info about Chinese market. Yeah, so that's all. This is a small summary. Well, but it's still not updated. I'm sure now we have more actually. It's about like how many companies locate in our center. It says 21, but now actually it's almost 40. And then also we have many this kind of the high academic researchers, and as well as all kinds of this laboratory collaborations, and also the fundings and the patents. Yeah, basically, yeah, it's the data about that. Well, yeah, if you are interested, we can introduce more, or we can in contact later. So, and next up, well, if you have some questions, let's welcome our CEO, Mr. Zhou Bing. So he will come. He will be here together with me to answer the questions. Thank you. Okay, questions?
Is there some questions or? No, but we can do the discussion during the lunch break and after, and so on. So if there is some questions, just please.
Okay, we can talk later. Actually, our CEO will be here only for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, for this special event.
Yes, so now it's time for action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you again for the great keynote speeches and presentations. Now it's time for a lunch break. And during lunch break, I want to remind that there is still the exhibition going on. The companies are on this floor. There are presentations, and you can make the networking that way also. Yes, for lunch, you need a voucher. The lunch is free with this one, but you need it if you need. Just come and ask. And for little details more, we will start here again in 45 minutes, so at 12:30 we continue in here. The lunch is served in unique cafe in this building or on the upper side building. Do we have something?
Yes, I have one more thing to announce before you leave for the wonderful lunch. I know you're all hungry, but please listen up just for a moment. If any of you is interested about well-being and rehabilitation center 2-day FAM trip at Kruunupuisto in Savonlinna, please feel free to find Mali for more information about that one.
对，大家如果对部落部首那个他们的参观什么有兴趣，我可以安排任何时间，然后组织大家过去，然后需要提前跟我联系，然后我们可以安排。
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy your
Now
lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
玛丽。
可以信任一下的。